Okay, now I'm going to show you how to use the printer. For this particular print job, I put the card in the tiny slot down here. It's spring-loaded. You press the card in. I'll just pull it out so you can see. I'm pressing it with my fingernail. It's spring-loaded, and then I can just press it back in. Sometimes it springs pretty far out, so just be careful when it pops out. And next to it, you'll see this is the USB port. I'm thinking that for the older computers, it doesn't want to be compatible. I was able to do this the other day with the USB port, but not when I was at home. So I'm not sure if it's because this printer or the computer I was using wasn't as compatible with the printer. I'm not sure. So anyhow, I'll show you how to do the card. So once the card is in, and you've loaded the information on the card from the other programs that I showed you in the other video, you're going to see this screen over here. And the first is green block that says print. There's a monitor which allows you to see how hot everything is on the screen, and then lastly there's just a moving one, which would be good for if you need to calibrate the printer for some reason. So there's a little gray line underneath print that tells me that that's the button that's selected. So when I press the you can't really see it here, but the blue dial, move that back, there we go. This dial has a press button in the middle, so when I press that, it's going to bring up the items that are on that little mini SD card. Now, this is a whole list of things. This is the card from Springfield, so it's got a lot of different stuff that I had made years ago. What I want to do is I want to start by pulling up, I'm going to print Ryan's keychain. So I have Ryan's name highlighted. I'm going to click his name, and now it's going to start the printer. The extruder, this is the heat for the extruder. We can actually make this 190 instead of 205. The gray line is underneath the word extruder, so when I press on the button, it will allow me to change the temperature. So I'm just going to lower the overall temperature to 190. I don't know if you can see that, but in tiny little red marks it says 190. Whoops. The platform should be 50, and that's what it's set at. The last place over here is speed. Right now it's set at normal speed. You can, again, I'm going to move the gray line over underneath that. You can move it to double speed or 1.5, whatever. The highest it'll go is double speed. All right. Now, Ryan wants to make his keychain in black filament. There's white filament in this right now. Since the extruder is telling me that it's 190 degrees, I'm going to squeeze the little, there's like a little pinch mode up here. I can squeeze that and pull the white vinyl right out, remove this, and add the black. What you want to make sure is that the end of the black has a beveled point. This one needs to be cut. It feeds better if it's a beveled point. So I'm just going to cut an end off on an angle. And now you can see there's a point, maybe you can see, there's a point on the end of this. I'm going to again squeeze this little apparatus up here at the top and feed it in. If for some reason that it seems to be caught up here, you can kind of wiggle this flexible tubing, and it should allow you to feed it in. Now, there was a little bit of white left over in the printer, and I don't know if you can see it, but I'm going to take this filament and I'm going to force the black, which will push the extra white out of the way that was left over in the tubing. So I've done that, and I can either take my finger, it's like a hot glue gun, but you can see that there's some black or some white, and then the black is showing up. Once it heats up to the proper speed or heat, it will automatically start printing, which is about to happen right now. And on the printer, it usually will print like an outline, which you won't be able to see because this is black on black, but it is printing an outline of the object, and it will continue to go in layers. If for some reason you wanted to change colors, keep in mind that this prints in layers. If a child wants, say, their name to be a different color than the base, the name would have to be raised up from the base enough so that you could pause the print, change the filament like I just showed you, and continue. That's the one way that you can do to change colors from one to another. Remember, it will print the same color through the entire layer. So you can't do multiple colors in different areas of the same plane. It would be pretty complicated. This is a pretty rudimentary printer, so just keep that in mind. It does simple tasks, which is perfect for this grade level. All right, I hope that helps.